How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today we're talking Khalil Herbert, Week 6. What can you expect? And before we get into that, in the matchup against the Packers, if you're not sure why there's a video even about this, it's Damian Williams tested positive for COVID. He's out most likely this week. He's going to need 2 consecutive negative tests, which, if you get test positive on Thursday, going to be real hard to do that by Sunday. So what does that mean for Khalil Herbert, and what does that mean for the Bears? So Khalil Herbert versus the Packers here. It's interesting because the Packers are very middle of the road against the running backs this year. A lot of that stems from the Lions with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams and them doing whatever they do. So can the Bears stay on schedule and continue to run the ball? That's really what the question is, because last week, Khalil Herbert, 18 carries, 0 targets, and really he outsnapped Damian Williams, but a lot of that was due to the Bears just being up. They were winning, so they could stick to the run. If the Bears get down big, what do you expect from Khalil Herbert? And honestly, I don't want to think about that. I'm a Bears fan. I don't want to think about the Bears getting down early, but it's probably going to happen. So, is there anyone else on the roster from a running back perspective that can catch the ball? Not really. It's Khalil Herbert and Ryan Nall. And if you're not familiar with Nall, he's basically a giant fullback that's technically listed as a running back. That's all he is. So Khalil Herbert has the potential to see, 3 to 4 targets. I'm not expecting him to get peppered with targets. That wasn't his role in college either. He's not a great pass catching back. That doesn't mean he can't do it. So again, 2 to 4 targets probably in that range. And then if the Bears can stay competitive, he has the potential for 20 plus carries, because the Bears, again, they want to run the ball this year. We have seen it week in, week out, and Khalil Herbert is capable of doing that. And obviously they trust him to do that, giving him 18 carries the week before. So what does this mean as far as, a fantasy finish and who do I start him over? It makes him a top 24 running back as far as I'm concerned. You're going to play him over guys like Latavius Murray, Jamal Williams. I think Damian Harris is another one, because I think Harris, if he even suits up, gets scripted out pretty early. Devontae Booker, Chase Edmonds, I think is the tier Khalil Herbert belongs in, and it's a tough one, and I have the decision in my own league, and I'm probably going to play Khalil Herbert over Devontae Booker. Again, I'm going to go back and forth on that all week, the next 2-3 days here, but I think Khalil Herbert's guaranteed workload is really difficult to get away from. So if you had him, if you were lucky enough to scoop him up on waivers, I think he's a guy that should be in your RB2 spot. I'm not necessarily going to throw him into my flex. I'll probably go with a wide receiver there just for, the sky high upside potentially. But Khalil Herbert, top 24 running back, get him into your RB2 spot if you're thin at running back this week. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. As always, subscribe to the YouTube, drop questions, comments, whatever you got below, and we'll answer as many as we can. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.